Okay, so tonight, this is our Meet the Makers, and for those of you who are new viewers, our Meet the Makers is where we get in kind of down and dirty on on a specific system or feature of the Voyager. And tonight's feature is the Voyager Dream Kitchen. So we're gonna go through all the ins and outs, why it is the way it is, and how we use it tonight. And I hear you've got something special for us tonight.
We're gonna cook something yummy.
Yes.
Quick and yummy. It'll be great.
I'm always hungry after these things anyway.
Right?
So that'll be great. All right. So we're going to just get right into it. We're going to show you how we use the kitchen.
Sure. Let's get to it.
Okay. So first of all, one of my favorite things about this is, I don't know about you guys, but whenever we go camping, we always end up at the perfect camp spot hours after we wanted to get there, and everybody's starving, typically cranky.
Yep.
And in all other camping scenarios prior to the Voyager, it was still quite a long time before we were cooking.
Yes, always was. With all of the totes. We've gone through so many iterations with Lifestyle Overland. We've started with totes and having a tote for kitchen, and then food, and then utensils, and everything being strung out everywhere, and then taking time to set up a table and whatnot. So eventually we morphed into getting it together, and that meant different trailers, and then landing on this trailer for sure with an exquisite layout of a kitchen.
Oh, thank you. So the way it works for our family is, as soon as we get level, I'm back here cooking.
Same. I am too.
Awesome. The kids and Artie are setting everything else up, but it's like food starts.
Yeah, Mom goes straight to the back of the kitchen for sure.
Within minutes. Okay, so let's get it opened up and we'll show you how we get started. Okay, so that's it.
Yeah.
We're ready. Like, we can do something here.
Yes.
Lift up the back and let's go.
Absolutely.
I like a little light. There we go. Okay.
Perfect.
So with the Red Arc and all of the great power and power that we've got on here and lighting, we can have lights instantly.
Yeah.
Because usually for us, it's like 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Yes. Listen, we've gotten better. Okay, if you watch the latest episodes, we've gotten better, but we still have our moments.
So we've got instant light, and we can go at it. Typically, on our first night, we do a quick meal.
Yes.
You know, something that's not too elaborate, because, you know, of
it's
what
late.
we just talked about.
Yeah, depending on when you left,
so
for sure.
I love that the Voyager is set up where we can do it, we can use it in this configuration. You know, quick and easy.
Yeah.
So let's see. We'll just show you this configuration real quick. So this is great for sandwiches, quick meals. You've got access to your fridge and
the rest of your storage as well. Yeah.
You mean we don't have to move anything?
No, not if you don't want to. You don't. Yeah, and that's something that I love too, especially is, you know, if we're just pulling in, we want to do something quick, or say we're stopping on the trail for lunch and you don't want to, you know, pull everything out. I have access to everything that I need, you know, depending on what I have up here, or if we just want cheese and crackers, then I can just lay everything out buffet style, and then the crew can come through and get what they want to eat. So this is definitely a quick, you know, easy way to get a meal started, and then a quick and easy way to clean it up afterwards as well.
Yeah. And I just love that I can get to everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, in other setups, I know I've had to like move things from my prep area just so I could open up a cabinet or something like that. So pretty nice. Okay, now we'll show when we want to get a little bit more elaborate, either if we want to have somebody join in with us cooking, or if we just want more space. So right here, our fridge slide out, the way Artie designed this is just so great, because it's easy for me to slide out. I can move things around without having to be like, come help me.
Right. Yes.
And then it allows now for 2 different prep spaces. So with this, we've got our slide outs, and it will lock into place. And then also on the back here, we've got our door stays, which I'll demonstrate when we get to the other side. So the conditions, weather conditions, aren't always perfect. So sometimes it's windy, and we want to keep our doors from, you know, constantly hitting the cooler. So we've got door stays right back there to keep it out of the way.
In place, yeah.
Which we discovered during all of our campouts, that we're like, oh, this is needed.
Yes, it is, for sure.
Okay, so we've got this open now. Okay, so here's where all of our power is. And this is really quite a magical feature of the Voyager. I don't know, kitchen, power. I would say they're the top 2 features of the kitchen. But we've got a dual battery system here. We have everything managed by Rd, and it allows us to cook as if we're in...
At home. Yeah, there's not really much of anything that I haven't cooked on the trail that I cook at home as well.
Yeah.
So it's great to have that extra power.
It's awesome. So one of the highlights of the Voyager is just that as you cook...
Well, and in having the power, you can bring things from home, such as, say you're a smoothie family and you want to have breakfast smoothies, you're going to have the power and capability to run that. Or if you want to do an Instapot or a crock pot, say you're staying in one spot for a long time, this power allows you the plug-in to be able to run, you know, all those things. You know, say you're real fancy and want an espresso maker, you know, that could be great.
Yep.
You know,
we
go for it.
have some customers that have a microwave.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They bring their microwave along.
Cool.
You know, so you can do it.
Yeah.
That was one of, so when Artie was designing this, he was asking me over and over again, like, what's the most outlandish thing you can think of that you're going to want when you're like way off grid? And I was like, okay. So then I really gave it to him one day and I'm like, I want to be able to run my Instant Pot and my hairdryer at the same time. He's like, done. You can do that. So
that's great.
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Glamping.
Yes. I mean, why not?
Okay.
Love this. Love this. It's so pretty.
Yeah. So this is our stainless steel countertop. This just really gives us all of the space to do anything.
Any prep work.
Yeah.
For sure.
Anything. And I've noticed that you do the same as I. For these back things, I leave them pretty bare.
The shelves, yeah.
Yeah. Because when you have kids, there is always stuff.
Yes.
That just
ends up everywhere.
Makes its way. And when you want to come and cook, you don't want to figure out what to do with other people's stuff. So it
just goes on the shelf. That's right. There have been times where we've gone on extended trips and I didn't know, and I was feeding more people than just my family. And so I have used this for like canned goods, or I'll put like my Ziploc bags so that I can save room for food in the storage area. So the shelving is nice to be able to just like quickly dump things. Kevin also will use some of this for like charging station, because with the table put up, nothing's falling off, you know? And so he'll put like charging stuff up there for batteries and stuff like that. But yeah, I love having just the extra shelving to put drinks or snacks, you know, while we're cooking dinner, or a kid hands me a rock. So cool, I'll put it here, you know? So it's really nice having that extra quick to shelving.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's see. We've talked a lot about the storage space, which I just think is awesome. I remember my first time camping in the Voyager. I like had my very detailed list, and I was like, okay, we're going to be gone. And we were going on a fairly long camp out. I think it was about 7 days. So I felt like, I hope I'm going to have enough space. And I got everything in here, and it looked empty.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I forgetting?
It takes a lot, because you don't realize how deep this storage is. Even though it looks narrow, it's really deep. And so you can really fill up the space quickly.
Yeah. We've turned into that this is kind of our kitchen stuff. And up here we keep hiking chairs, games, other stuff, you know, flashlights, things like that. So I don't even really utilize this area much for my kitchen.
Oh, I'm totally
stuff.
different.
Yeah.
So what I put up here is I'll do like bread, things I don't want smushed, like bread, chips, cereal. We always have
the
like
sugary stuff you don't want kids to know about.
They can't reach, you know. Luckily, all of mine are rather short, except for Caroline. She's catching up to me. And then we'll have like emergency meals in the very back, you know, just in case. It's always a good idea. You don't know if it's going to be a super rainy day and you just want to boil water and eat a meal, right?
Yeah. Or if you're going to get stuck on the trail longer than you expect.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I
Which
usually
with the
put a lot
Voyager
of
you
my.
won't.
No, you won't. That's why I like to put a lot of like my soft goods up here, so that nothing really gets smushed up there.
Yeah. And where do you put your pots and pans?
So I do pots and pans here.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
And it's there.
That's typically what we do. Yeah. So I don't know about you, but we like utilizing this for an extra
I do that
shelf.
as well. Yep.
Okay.
And I do a cutting board as well for now. Yeah. Kevin, although, has said he's going to maybe 3D print me or create some way to better organize my pots and pans up there. So that'll be really cool to have. But yeah, I just do a nice, since it's so deep, you know, if you can see that it's so deep, I will have like my stock pot in the back, and then I have all of my pots and pans and lids. But yeah, all my pots and pans fit up there.
Awesome. And then, okay, so you keep soft goods up there. Yep. So this is the food pantry.
That's what I call the pantry, when I tell the family that.
That's what we call it also. These bins we get from Target. They are available at Walmart,
or
Walmart, a version
even,
of it, Amazon, things like that.
Home Goods,
They're really great, and they just fit.
Yes.
So well.
And you can get multiple in there. Yeah. So let's show you. So you can get this size, and then we've got one all the way in the back.
The big size. I personally like using two of the small ones in this particular pantry because of this right back here. So this is our pass-through for the midnight snacks or
the baby that needs one more snack before bed. And so I'll usually keep, like, if I have this towards the back, I'll keep granola bars and fruit pouches and like other snacky things all the way up against there. So then, you know, it's 10 o'clock at night. She needs one more snack before bed. I can pop it open, grab her little snack, gobble it down, and go to bed. So I love it. I'm so glad we have that.
That actually came about, so that was not original, but that came about because we were doing a lot of cold camping.
Yeah.
And prior to what now is our really cool heating system, prior to that, we were like, we've got to get a little bit of heat back here. So that was the original reason to, you know, make sure that we didn't have frozen bread in the morning. But now it's just a nice, convenient.
It is little snackage.
Yep. Because we've solved the heating problem somewhere else.
That's right.
So this bin is usually where I keep my soft goods, bread, chips, things like that, and I'll keep that up in this cabinet.
There. Okay. Yeah. So do you put all your pots and pans in here too?
So I'll have my my pans under here, and then
you put the basket up there.
Yeah, and then the basket
there. Yeah. I'm gonna have to try a few different things.
I change my setup.
Yeah.
Almost.
Well, sometimes I'll even, like, if I know we're really gonna not be going into towns as often, I'll even sometimes put food up here. Like I'll put my cereal and chips up here, and then other stuff up here. Yeah. Kind of thing. So.
Because cereal does take up a lot of room.
It does. I try to avoid cereal too, but listen, sometimes you just need that quick meal in the morning to get on the trail and get going. Yeah.
So this is a way that you can use the kitchen when you're not necessarily needing to heat anything up. If you don't need the stove, then this is all you need. Or if you're ready to cook the meal, right, something big and fancy, then we've got this second slide. And that's what's so cool about the Voyager is this dual slide system where, you know, Artie's brilliance has come into play here, where he has the systems, where he has the system working where the slides just fit right on top of each other, maximizing every bit of space.
Tetris.
Yes, so we can keep this trailer small and agile, but then give ourselves this huge kitchen.
Yes.
Okay. So here we go. I love this door over here. I use it for so many reasons.
It's so pretty too.
It's so nice. So first I'm going to show you the door stay, which is right here. We've got this on both doors, and this just locks it into place, again, so the wind doesn't blow. Let's pretend for just 1 second that we didn't have any of the kitchen opened up. We're on the trail. I try really hard not to have a lot of snacks in the car with us because that has its own problems when you have 5 kids.
We're the other way around. If we don't have snacks in the car, we are constantly stopping for snacks. So mom has a snack bag in the car.
So we do that sometimes too, but I have found that we're a little happier when I control the snacks.
Yeah.
And so what that means is sometimes we are pulling off and one of us needs to run back real quick. You know, we're usually just on the side of the road and somebody runs back. We can open up this door. I always keep our snacks right here. So we can just run, grab a handful of snacks, and then run and jump back in the truck.
Great.
So that's one of the things that I like. Also, before I bring this out, another handy thing, and this came about when we were in super windy conditions. So this was already here, but this little hack that I'm going to tell you came about when we were in super windy conditions. The winds were just howling down right here. And I was like, there's no way I am making food over there in that wind. Yep. And so I came over and I was like, look at this. I have a nice little prep counter. Yep. I can make sandwiches.
Make some sandwiches.
And 7 people were fed from this little counter.
It gets the job done.
It's a true story.
Yeah. See, on the other hand, for coffee drinkers, we keep all of our coffee accoutrements right there, so that it's right there and ready to make the coffee. So
perfect.
Or your
so
hot
versatile.
Beverage. Yeah.
Okay, so with these slides, we've got this little latch here that just helps to release it, so you can pull it out. And then with this one, you want to make sure that you get it pulled all the way out and engaged, because if you can see back in here, we've got the energy chain, which has our propane and our water feeding into this slide out. And with this, safety is a big deal to us because we bring our family, we know other people are bringing their families, and sometimes you forget critical details like turning off the propane.
Yep.
And we don't want that to ever be a problem or a hazard for anybody. So we've got this awesome little solenoid switch right here, which means you have to have this drawer pulled all the way out and this switch on in order for the propane to actually engage. And then as soon as you go to close this drawer, it switches.
It's a safety switch.
It's a safety switch, and it turns the propane off, even if we forget to turn the actual propane off.
Yep.
So it's a great feature.
Yeah, great touch.
So here we go. Do you want to talk a little bit about this slide?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this slide for many reasons. One, it's got a nice, decent, deep, wide sink. So you're able to wash all of your dishes, pots and pans, super duper easy. But with the lid, it creates another prep space and station for while I'm cooking over here on the stove. And another nice thing about the stove is that you have a larger unit and a smaller unit, so that, you know, if you want to do a bigger skillet with something smaller side by side, you know, I've done that where I've been cooking, you know, a two side meal. Like say I have my meat cooking on a grill at the fire pit, then I can have, you know, potatoes boiling and a vegetable going at the same time. So it's really nice having, you know, the prep space and the cooking space as well for all of my pots and pans to fit on as well.
So we typically have our spices there and then our bowls and utensils. That works well. I have seen plenty of people who have food in that area.
Yeah, so we will usually run all of our spices because I love to cook and it's not just salt and pepper. So I have double rows of spices, and then we'll put our coffee cups here, utensils the same. And then here I usually will have like hand soap, dish soap, and then I'll have like cooking oil. So I like to do a spray and then like an olive oil or avocado oil. And then sometimes I'll even put like, I've recently put tea here. So, you know, if I have all my coffee here, then tea can go there. Or sometimes we've had coffee go here as well. So yeah, it's a great spot to have, you know, if you have a little French press, that's a great spot to put your French press and other things like that, or your plates and bowls. So it's got all of the like niche places to put things. And so everyone can customize it however they want to do it. And it's fun. You know, as a little girl, you know, setting up house, you know, I remember playing dolls and Barbies. It was just so much fun to like organize rather than play. And this is our grown-up version. It is.
So true.
It is.
True. Okay. And then lastly, we've got our sink here, which is awesome. Not just the sink, but what comes with it. So the Voyager trailer has a 36-gallon water tank and the Truma combi water heater.
Yeah.
Which means
hot water to wash dishes and hands with. And it is the cherry on top. It's great.
Yeah. And the water, just there seems like there's always plenty.
Yes, always.
Water. Yeah. So it's great. So at this point, should we get into the meal?
Yeah, I'm ready if you are.
Because we can keep talking about some of the features and we can cook. Right before getting ready to cook is usually when I'm like, ooh, don't forget to turn on the water heater, because that way the water can start to heat up while we're cooking, while we're eating, and then it's ready to go when.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah, because there's different levels of the water heater that you can set up. And so just putting it on hot or eco, and then it's ready by the time you're ready to actually wash dishes. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Let's
so what
do
are we
it.
cooking?
So we are going to fix egg roll in a bowl. Super easy meal for the trail, like in the situation of when you get there and you just need to feed somebody fast. I really like this meal. You can always, zhuzh it up a little bit by adding rice and other sides and toppings and things like that. But we're going to show you the sweet and condensed version that my family really likes. So, ready? Let's cook. Luckily, it is a minimal recipe meal, and I like those. 10 ingredients or less is my kind of meal cooking. So we're going to start with some ground beef. Or you can do ground pork, ground chicken, ground turkey, depending on what your family likes. I really love to do it with the pork. My family prefers the beef. And then I cheat and do the Asian style salad mix. And for 2 reasons. One, if I don't want to take time to chop anything, this is an open, pour, cook, and ready to go. Also, the little dressing that comes with it is really yummy to use in place of soy sauce or coconut aminos that is traditionally used in the recipe. And then I love fresh herbs, and cilantro is so good on this. And then I always have to top it off with a squeeze of lemon. It just takes it to a whole new place. Okay? All right. So I'm gonna let you cut the lime for me. And I'm going to go ahead and get going on browning the meat.
Awesome. And we have plenty of room. We could even have others join us. So just so you guys know, we will be putting this recipe in the newsletter that will be coming out in March. So no worries, you'll be able to get it. If you don't already get the newsletter, go on to our website, xpeditiontrailers.com, and you can subscribe, and you'll get a monthly newsletter where we always share a recipe, because obviously we are foodies, and we share lots of other great things like a secret camp spot and tips and tricks for camping and just making camping a little bit more enjoyable for your family. And we highlight a feature of the Voyager trailer. So, okay.
All right, so we're just gonna start by tossing in the meat. We're gonna get that going.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so real quick.
True confession.
Yes. So garbage is always something that you don't really think about until it's time to get rid of it, right? So on the Voyager at the front where the spare tire is where we keep a large trash bin, just that we collect during the trips. But you need something right here. And it just so happens that I did not make sure that we had it today. So we like to use this great little garbage pouch from the Overland Gear Guy. It fits perfectly up in one of these cabinets, and I can just loop it right here, and I've got a cute little trash can just right here. It will hold everything for prepping a meal, and then we just carry it back to the back and dump it.
That's perfect.
So otherwise, I have seen plenty of grocery bags either tied right here or tied over on the cooler. You do what you gotta do.
I'm guilty of that one.
Okay, I'm gonna cut a line. So we've got 4 different prep areas that you can utilize here on the Voyager. You can either prep when the sink lid is down. You can prep right here at this drawer. Obviously the stainless countertop and this. So it really makes it nice when multiple people want to participate, and also if you're setting up to feed multiple people, you actually have a place that you can start putting finished food at.
Yeah, oftentimes I'll have Caroline wanting to help, and so it's really nice to have me at the stove and then her over here at the table, or sometimes Abigail wants to help me. And so I'll have Abigail sitting on the table, and then I'll be over here chopping something far away from her, but close enough to manage that. So We definitely utilize all of the prep spaces very well.
Isn't it so funny? I mean, we're all creatures, or this is a human thing, right? If you've got the space, you use it.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the space that I'm like, I
Absolutely.
love that I have it.
Me too. And one thing I love is that in any home, the kitchen is always the center of the home, right? And I think that goes, if more, for camping. You know, because usually we'll have like our fire pit here, we'll have our table set up right there, as if it's a real true like space to spend time together and enjoy food together. And I love food, and I have seen where food will bring people together. And, you know, when you're camping, a lot of people are like, you know, let's get around a fire pit and spend time together and talk. And I'm like, yeah, that's good and all, but if we can add food to that, it's even better. And so I love how this just creates this, you know, this really great space for everyone to just be spending time together.
Yeah. And anybody who's watching, if you are interested in the Voyager, I'm pretty sure you have a pretty high interest in food. Otherwise, the Voyager may not have caught your eye.
Yes. Yes, mine is the sleep inside capabilities with the heat and being here with this.
Yeah.
With the kitchen for sure.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So while we're prepping, I also want to mention a little bit more about the lights. So you can see that we've just got these nice bright white lights, which help us out. We've got additional lighting right over here on the side. This little one is fantastic when it's not mealtime and it's more like bedtime.
Yes,
and
brush your teeth, get ready.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know about you, but we utilize the back part of this drawer to keep a lot of our toiletries in, because they really, the things that you're going to use at the sink, you don't need to have in the cabin. So we just have our own toiletries, toothbrushes, things like that in this drawer. And then that way it's just quick access to the sink.
Yeah, that's great.
When you're ready to brush your teeth, you know, you're kind of like, I don't
winding
need
down
full bright lights on. So there's that small light over there, which is like, great. I can do
Another great thing, if we're talking about lighting, is the red light. Because oftentimes, depending on the season or where you're camping, it can get super buggy. And by switching to the red light, you're able to really be able to like, voila, not attract as many bugs. And so I really feel like that makes a huge difference. And so oftentimes, you know, even as the night is winding down, we'll just turn on the red lights and just everyone can start chilling out, enjoying the fire, getting ready for bed. So yeah, it's really nice having all the different lighting capabilities.
And you can control them. You know, you can have as much of the red lights on as you want. You can either have just these upper ones, you have this back one, or you can even have some down here at your feet, which sometimes we're in camping spots where there's more critters around than other camp spots, and then we like to keep these undercarriage red lights on just to kind of keep those away.
Well, and also too, you know, depending on where you're at, sometimes we've had some pretty rocky spots. And so it's really nice to be able to have just enough light if you need to get out in the middle of the night to go to the restroom or something, just to be able to see what's going on right around you. So we always leave those on. They are on almost all the time.
The red lights are really nice.
All right, I think we're ready for step 2.
Okay.
We are going to now add the cabbage mix. Can I bum your knife to slice this open? All right, so we'll just get this open. I'll try not to dump it everywhere. I always pull out the dressing and the toppings. And we'll just add that right in. I tend to use a lean cut of meat so I don't have to drain grease or anything like that too often. So that just makes it a little bit easier. And now we're gonna cook this down until it's just soft and tender. Sometimes, I mean, if you like it really soft, go for it, cook it down. I still like mine with a little bit of a crunch. And so I'll just cook it down just enough to where it's wilted and tender. And then we'll add in our sauce. And then we'll be able to plate it and we're ready to go. It's great. Okay, so we'll give that just a minute. Got some trash.
Okay.
All right, I always like to serve this in bowls. So if you want to set that up, and why don't you go ahead and pull out some cilantro.
Okay.
We can have that ready to sprinkle on top. We can
So
add
one
this
of
as
my
well.
Christmas presents that I got was this awesome little herb growing thing, and we are growing cilantro like crazy.
It's
wonderful.
one of my favorite herbs. I know a lot of people don't like it, like, you know, they can have that soap reaction to it. I do not, so I really enjoy it.
I can eat a lot of cilantro.
Yes.
I want to say that even when we were designing like the suspension, we took into consideration the functionality of the kitchen, because I'm short, and if we really, you know, weren't careful, we could have made this kitchen up way too high. And Sarah doesn't have this problem.
I do not.
But I do. And it's nice that the kitchen sits at pretty much a countertop level most of the time. Although there are some times when you get to a particular camp spot that the kitchen might be, you know, 6 inches higher or 6 inches lower, just depending on the grade that you're on. I think you were saying, Sarah, once.
Yes. There have been a couple times where the kitchen has been just at the right height, or, you know, like you said, several inches up higher. And I'm like, oh, this feels much closer tonight. And then there's been other times where Kevin will start unpacking and start putting things away and unleveling things, and I'm like, oh, okay, hang on, wait a minute, I need that back. I'm gonna lose our sausages.
So anyways, the construction of the Voyager really was designed for functionality and maintaining the integrity of utilizing the kitchen the way it is. I feel like I used way too many words in that description. But anyways, hopefully you understand what I was trying to say there.
We did. All right. Okay. I think we're ready.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Just a little bit more cilantro since we both really like it.
Okay.
Okey-dokey.
You want to turn it to the white lights again so we can see well? We'll dish it up. Take a bite.
It looks so good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You want to put this back in the fridge?
Yeah.
I'll be ready.
Oh, okay. One more thing I want to say, because sometimes the kitchen does get a little high. This is just a little trick. So we use an Alu box to hold like our dirty shoes and things like that, usually up top. And Artie is kind enough to always get that down for me, just in case I need a little extra help looking into the fridge. So a lot of times I'll have an Alu box that just kind of slides under here and comes back out when I need just that added bit of height. Sarah does not have this problem.
No. I mean, this will be fun. So I'm just going to add, I like some of the crunchy bits.
Sounds good to me.
Hope you're not on a diet.
No.
We're going to add some cilantro. And then always a squeeze of lime.
It looks so good.
Yeah, it is so yummy. One of my favorites.
That was so easy.
Yes. Grab a couple forks. Now, one thing I was going to comment on is how she has this set up with silverware. One thing that I have found that we like, just because we go on a lot of bumpy trails, is I have a silverware dish with a lid so that everything stays in there, no matter how bumpy the trail can get. So this is my utensil carrier and how I like to do it. And then we'll put our plates and bowls and things in there as well. Yeah.
So do you keep that in the drawer along with the plates and bowls?
I do. Yeah, there's still plenty of room. And then I'll have a roll of my chef knives.
Oh, yeah.
So it's great.
I love having a roll of knives. Ooh.
Yes.
So exciting. Okay, let's show you what it looks like. Oh, it smells so good.
I know. I love this meal. And you can always, like I said, you know, make it a little bit more if you want like some rice or even over noodles. It's really good like that, kind of Asian noodles. It's good.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And we've got enough space over there to cook up the rice.
Yeah,
or
the rice or the noodles.
While,
Absolutely. While doing this. Yeah. It can be a one-pot meal or more.
Okay.
Still one of my faves. It's simple but good. I do like it. Always with the cilantro. I hope people don't miss out on the cilantro.
Yeah, it's good. You got your protein, you got your veggies, and it just smells so good.
Yeah.
I love it.
So great.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a simple meal, but you and I both cook more complex
Pretty elaborate meals,
sometimes. Like fajitas, which requires a lot of chopping, a lot more space.
Yeah,
and
for sure. And one thing that's really nice too is that because we have so much space, is we always travel with a propane fire pit, and we started that habit years ago when we were traveling in New Mexico because of the fire bans that would happen so often. But propane is legal because you can instantly turn it off. And so that's just something that we've continued to travel with. And so I bring like a big skillet, like a
monster size.
Yeah, a big one. And so I can do steaks or fajitas or whatever in that. And then I can do other sides over here on the stove. So I love just the opportunity to cook a lot of food. And I love to cook for a lot of people. That's always really fun. Sometimes Kev's like, there's only 2 little kids and they don't eat very much. I'm like, listen, you better be hungry, bud.
I've always said, give me, troops to cook for. I'd much rather do that than for just
I'm so happy doing that. Yeah.
Me too. Which, hence, already designed this great kitchen.
Yes.
For those of us who love to feed others.
Yes.
That's so great. Okay. So have we covered everything? I'm hoping that
I think we've gotten pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we hope that this was helpful and fun. We had a good time.
Yeah.
And that you'll join us on our next Meet the Makers, which will be in April. And we get to switch places. It's going to be the guys. So they're going to be talking about hitting the trail and why the Voyager can get you anywhere that your vehicle can go. So we hope that you'll join us next time for Meet the Makers. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll see you later.
Yeah.